Yes, everybody, welcome back to Talking Wolves. Welcome back to a brand new match preview on the channel today. Hope you guys are keeping well and safe, and hopefully you've recovered after a disappointing and frustrating weekend of football at Molineux. Look, we've got three winnable, dare I say, touch wood, winnable fixtures for Wolves coming up, and one of them is this week against Watford on Thursday at Molineux. Going to be looking ahead to that, giving my thoughts. Some of you may well be wondering where I am. Some of you may well know that just before Christmas, I got my own house. This is the office, so definitely from next season, hopefully, you'll see me be recording in here. Of course, there's not much wallpaper on the walls right now. The fireplace has been ripped out, waiting to sort of new windows and so on. But eventually, this will be where the magic happens as such. But for now, we're just still a work in progress, really. But before we kick off with the preview, of course, big shout out once again to our friends over at BetMate. Been some phenomenal support since we partnered up with BetMate. So, guys, I really do appreciate you getting involved. If you haven't already, it's basically a fantasy football type game. You pick 7 players, 1 goalkeeper, 2 defenders, 2 midfielders and 2 attackers, and then basically depending on their performances throughout the game, you'll get points, and obviously you can win some cash. This is my team for this week's game against Watford, and if I'm honest, what I would probably say is probably do the opposite than I've picked here, because my record, especially with the Wolves games, has not been great. Of course, I've backed Jimenez on this one, but if you want to go completely against me, and you've probably got a chance of winning some cash, to be honest. I'm pretty sure I was in the bottom 5 or 6 for the Southampton game, but maybe that's just me being very positive towards the Wolves players, who knows. But as always, guys, you've got to be 18 plus to enter, UK residents only, and of course gamble aware. But Watford, a team where, you know, there's always drama at Watford, isn't there? Always managers coming and going, and we have seen that this season with big old Roy coming in there, Roy Hodgson. I think they've had their ups, they've had their downs already with Roy, to be honest. And I don't sit down, other than the Wolves games, I very rarely sit down and watch Premier League football, but I did sit down and watch their game against Arsenal at the weekend. And although Arsenal got on paper what seemed to be, I wouldn't actually say a convincing victory, because it finished 3-2 in the end, but although Arsenal got the win, I thought Watford actually had a decent amount of chances and controlled the game quite well. So I don't think Wolves can take this game for granted, as poorly as Watford are doing in the Premier League table right now. They created opportunities. I think Dennis probably should have stuck 1 or 2 in the back of the net. And they did quite well to control the game. Arsenal were just very, very ruthless on the day. I remember the second half, Watford dominated for the first 5 or 10 minutes, and Arsenal pick up the ball for the first time in a decent area and put the ball in the back of the net. So Watford are there to cause problems for Wolves, and if we aren't turning up and aren't there to put the chances into the back of the net, then we're in a little bit of trouble. Of course, we were meant to play Watford just after Christmas at Molineux. I think it was our Boxing Day fixture. Cast our mind back to the reverse fixture. We have to go all the way back to, I think, the 4th game of the season. I believe Watford was our first win of the season when Hwang came on and grabbed a goal. It was a 2-0 win off the top of my head, if I remember rightly. So we need to try and repeat that sort of performance, but it's crucial that Wolves get back to winning ways. Look, we look back to that game against Crystal Palace, and it was not Crystal Palace, who am I talking? Yeah, it was Crystal Palace, and it was disastrous. Really poor. We didn't get going. I'm not too sure what we were doing for the goals. So we really need to, as a team defensively, you know, that's where we've done well this season defensively. In the last few games, you know, we've lost 3 on the bounce now. The last few games we haven't been good. Really, we just haven't offered enough going forward. We probably overperformed and outperformed our goals against, expected goals against, but that was never going to last forever. So we need to start outperforming our XG and scoring goals down the other end of the pitch, really. And at the moment, that's not happening. Obviously, Jimenez got dropped and came on. It looked pretty lively, I thought, when he came on. I was surprised he didn't come on a lot earlier. I think the gamble of playing Neto, Hwang and Podence as a front three, I think that backfired. That didn't work for Bruno at all. So I'd be surprised if we see that again. But and Keanu Hoover, of course, a lot of talk about that situation right now, which is quite intriguing. Obviously, Bruno made comments about him at the end of the game. When you watch the video, I think he's not completely targeting it at Keanu Hoover, but players in general. I know earlier in the year stories came out about Trincao and Fabio Silva not warming up adequately during a Premier League game. So it's a bit of a message, not just for Keanu Hoover, and I don't think not just for the youngsters, but players in general. You can't come to Wolverhampton Wanderers and just because you get this amount of money per week or you've scored this many goals this season, you should not be able to be guaranteed a place in this starting lineup. We need players that are on form, want to play and wear the old gold shirt, and want to win football matches for this football club. I know there's plenty of tickets still available left for this game. I think that's probably a telling sign. I don't think the game being on a Thursday helps the club, but that's quite a telling sign that there's so many tickets still available for the match. But I'm hoping we can get back to winning ways. Of course, we have Everton on Sunday as well, who've just had a drubbing against Spurs, so they're going to be up for that game as well. Obviously, we'll have a preview for that towards the end of the week. But predicted lineup for me, difficult one to predict, I think. Of course, with the situation of Semedo, but let's try my best to do it. Go with Jose Sarr in goal. Got to be a back three of Cody, Kilman and Sace, but I've seen many people call for maybe a change there and bring maybe Totti Gomez back into the back three. Of course, Willy Bolly trying to get back to full fitness. I don't think we'll see him in the first team anytime soon. If I'm honest, we may see one or two small cameos between now and the end of the season. Left wing back, I think Aït-Nouri has got to be reintroduced. He has to be reintroduced. I think one of the big parts of us going forward, I think he's a big part of that. Right wing back, you would probably say Keanu Hoover, but I think after the comments and after his so-called reaction, I know Birmingham Live put a little bit of an article out about it. I don't think he'll start, so probably Johnny at right wing back. Midfield of Neves and Moutinho, probably again. And a front three, I would probably say Neto, Jimenez, Podence, but Chiquinho's come on and proved a bit of a point recently. Hwang, of course. I still don't think Hwang contributes enough game to game, but, can put the ball in the back of the net if you give him that little bit of time and space. So I don't envy Bruno, really. I think he'll know in his head what the lineup is going to be already, but as fans, it's us going into the unknown, really, and it's going to be a surprise, I think, whichever way he goes for with the lineup, to be honest. But in terms of score prediction, I'm hoping Wolves can get back to winning ways. I think we can. We've got the quality, we've got the calibre. Just got to score early, I think. Got to get that first goal, and I think that's going to be crucial. I'm going to go with Wolves 1, Watford 0. Guys, let me know your thoughts and score predictions in the comment section down below. Hopefully you like that mini sort of room tour. I'm sure, I don't know, maybe, where are we now? March, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 months. I'm hoping maybe by the start of the season we might be able to do a bit of content in there, but who knows. But as always, be sure to hit the like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you all very, very soon.